lost. There's always a hope. Rise and fight.
Hello and welcome back everyone to BSL16 Round of 6, Round 2. We have a pretty interesting matchup for you folks today. For those of you who tuned in yesterday, you got to see XiaoShuai face off against QiaoGege in a pretty epic series. Really nice comeback from him, but yeah, he's actually going to be facing off in our second match so far, the Round of 6. And today he will be facing off against Sziky in an epic ZZZ. And joining me today is, of course, Nyoken. Nyoken, what's up, bud?
Yeah, what's up, man? I'm looking forward to this series. Like you said yesterday, XiaoShuai with a pretty sick comeback, but ZVP a little bit different than ZVZ Machine. We're going to have different types of antics. This is going to be more aggressive. I don't know if XiaoShuai could be more aggressive because there were moves that he was making, you know, like cannons were done, Templars were sitting in his face, and he's like, you know what? You're too far forward, man. You're dead. And that's the kind of mentality you got to have in CVZ because it is very cutthroat.
Yeah, I mean, it really just takes the difference of like a 1-unit advantage to run away and snowball with a game like, you know, in ZVZ. So both these players looking to get after it. They previously met in this season of BSL, and XiaoShuai came out narrowly on top in a 2-1 series. So Sziky obviously looking for some revenge here. And yeah, if anyone's able to make a comeback like that, it's absolutely going to be Sziky. Of course, today's series is going to be a best of 5, not the best of 3. So we should have at least one more game here for these two to work with. And yeah, this should be pretty exciting.
Yeah, I'm thinking back to the previous CVZs we saw with XiaoShuai. We, of course, had Fengzi versus XiaoShuai in like the round of 24. And it actually looked like Fengzi was going to win that series. But then XiaoShuai had like an epiphany moment versus Fengzi. He's like, you know what, man? You're not building enough links. And he did flood him, I remember, on the Polypoid game, which is not in the map pool, but we somehow got it into BSL. And I think Sziky needs to be aware of that. If he ends up winning 1 or 2 games with Muta control, XiaoShuai may pull magic out of his bag with some lings.
Yeah, it's always a possibility. Looking at the maps, especially on these maps, right? Silford, no ramp leading into the main. Vermeer, circuit breakers, big 4-player maps with wide open naturals. And obviously Sziky can play that style too. He's not just going to be limited to his, you know, like a 1-hatch Muta style opener. He could just as easily go for something like a 12-hatch expand, 12-pool expand, you know, link flood. But yeah, this is going to be an exciting one, folks.
Yeah, and before the stream started, both you and Zero were in agreement that it was an odd ban for Nemesis and Odyssey. Why do you think it's a good ZVZ map, and why would they ban this?
I mean, you can lock away a base for free. I love playing maps like Nemesis and Odyssey for ZVZ just because, you know, you can kind of just turtle up your main, take the in base natural on Odyssey, and suddenly you have a second gas you don't even need to defend, right? It makes for some interesting play, but at the same time, I understand why they might want to ban that out and say, you know what, let's play more of your standard ZVZ. But yeah, I'm definitely missing the potential games that we would have had on something like an Odyssey or a Nemesis for sure.
Yeah, it's a bit sad to see, especially Odyssey, because you have double gas in your main, so you don't even have to expand to get double gas. And whenever we do have, bases like that, a lot of the times you can get into potentially Hive Tech. You can get past a 10-minute game in ZVZ, so I'm a bit sad about Odyssey in particular. Nemesis, I don't really care too much about that one, but Odyssey, definitely, I am a bit sad to see that. But we've got at least standard maps across the board. Silford going to be our first map. When I was doing ASL with Eonzerg, well, I thought he liked Silford. Maybe I'm misquoting him here, but Silford, what do you think about as a Zerg map?
Silford's an odd one because it's a map where 12 pool expand, I feel like, is more prominent than most maps. Not having that ramp leading into your main, which is, kind of unique for the matchup, makes it a little more difficult to defend, right? If you're just doing like a one-base Ling style play. So we'll have to see if, one or both of our players opt for something like that here. But obviously we have our map screen here. It is Silford. That means both of our players are ready to go. Let's jump into game one between Sziky and XiaoShuai. And spawning bottom left as the light blue Zerg from China, it is XiaoShuai.
And in the bottom right, we do have the one and only, it's Sziky. And Machine, I'm looking at that tag, man. It says CWT XiaoShuai, and that gives me hope that actually XiaoShuai and other, that actually XiaoShuai and other Chinese players may have been playing in like clan leagues like BWCL, and that means that surprisingly, maybe these players actually have history outside of BSL. So I wonder if there's any mind games going on already.
Yeah, I'm certain there's some mind games going on here, right? At least these two have already faced off this season. Sziky's going to be looking for some revenge. I don't exactly remember how that series went, just that it was pretty close. So we'll have to see what both these players go for here. And we're already seeing, it looks like an overgas from XiaoShuai. I love this build. One of my favorites, honestly. If your opponent goes for something like a 9 pool, it's a big counter. You're able to get that early gas pretty quickly. But actually, it's going to be Sziky going for the 12 pool here. So I like this. I mentioned prior that this is a very common build on this map in particular. He'll likely just be going for an expansion here. But, overgas matches up fairly well even against this build. Likely XiaoShuai will have the faster Spire, will have more gas earlier on, but there's not a whole lot he's going to be able to do against Sziky's quick expand, right? And, just running the math here real quick. 2 gases, are a little better than 1 in this matchup. So if he's able to hang on to, that natural, not take a whole lot of early damage, from the quick Spire that's inevitably going to be coming here from XiaoShuai, he could put himself in a good position.
Yes, I'm just looking at the gas count right now. It's about 150 gas advantage for XiaoShuai right now. So if Sziky wants to catch up, he's going to need that additional gas that is natural. One other way he could catch up is to skip speed, but that seems a bit ambitious, especially when you're the one that has the expansion. And actually, I see Sziky has only 2 on gas, so it's unless XiaoShuai pulled off, which is definitely possible. Okay, he did pull off.
Yeah, he did pull 1 off gas. Both players playing this accordingly. Sziky opening up with that early speed play. He's the one who's completely in the dark here. XiaoShuai at least getting that first Overlord Scout. But somehow, Sziky feels confident enough to move across the map. I guess scouting that second Overlord, he knows it's not a 9 pool. But XiaoShuai actually splitting off a couple Zerglings to try to harass. Ooh. Let's see the link control looking pretty good here from XiaoShuai so far.
Yeah, this is going to be really hard to make work. It's Ling advantage for XiaoShuai, also 7 versus 8, and we've got 2 across the map. Hopefully Sziky did not miss. Oh, he's missed microing right here. He's going to lose all of his... I thought he's going to lose all of his Ling, but now actually Lings are in the main, and I don't know how he won that fight, but Ling in the main is going to get a couple of drone kills.
Yeah, this is great work from XiaoShuai here. Oh my gosh, gets another one as well, and hasn't taken much damage. Already forced so much lost mining time here, unfortunately for Sziky. I think Zeke's going to need to just forego that layer at this point. I mean, there's no chance he gets that Spire up.
Yeah, I think that's all he can really go for, is just try and play the long game now, but he's going to let the lair complete. I think it's fine. You already spent the money anyways. At least just let it complete. He could, I guess, try and Ling Flood. He's got an opportunity where XiaoShuai is going to have to balance his larva. If he wants to go Mutas, you know, he's going to have to make sure he's Ling tight, because this could still be a Ling Flood from Sziky here.
Yeah, it definitely looks like it. We're seeing the reaction from XiaoShuai. Creep Colony going down the main. XiaoShuai also looks to be pretty forward on the map with his Lings. Finally backing up here now, though. And man, Sziky's got to get the Evo Chamber down here shortly, or he could be in trouble.
Yeah, I'm not too sure on the timing of the Evo, but it does come down right now. But there, you can see there's not even colony started at his natural. And yes, Mutas don't exactly build the quickest, but it's not exactly the slowest either. So those colonies need to come down ASAP. And I gotta tell you, Machine, if I ever play Silford and I spawn bottom right, I'm already tilted, man. Because how the heck do you defend your mineral line at your natural?
You don't. It's really frustrating. We're seeing the Spore going down directly in the center of that. That's about the best you can do on that map, given, you know, on this map, given the positions. So at least, you know, he's going to have a little protection here, but it's going to be quite annoying.
Well, surprisingly, it's a manageable position. Yes, he's down Spire Tech, he's down Mutas, he's down Gas, but he's not outright dead yet. His Spore placement is great. He'll be able to at least mine the top patches of the minerals at the natural. He's not going to be able to mine that Gas at the bottom for a while, so he's going to have to build another Spore down there. But we do have XiaoShuai pulling completely off of Gas, so he's really going to start focusing on his mineral income.
Here we go. Possible run by here from XiaoShuai. Ooh, Sziky getting in good position, though. Sziky just has the Ling advantage here. I don't think there's much XiaoShuai can really do here.
Yes. Something to take note of is supplies are, 24 to 18, which, of course, XiaoShuai is ahead, which is a big deal in ZVZ. But 10 of the supplies in air, right? So if you subtract 10 here, we'll say that the Ling count is pretty much similar. That means there's a sizable worker count right now for Sziky, so he can definitely scale out of this.
I mean, you need it. That's really the biggest advantage of this 12-pool expansion opener. He's going to need every single one of these drones. And look at this single drone, already pretty isolated. Wow, Sziky on top of it, though. Pulls it back. Loses one drone, though, trying to build an extractor.
Yeah, that was hilarious to me that he's going to build the extractor, and he's like, hell no, don't even think about it, man. You ain't getting that. But we've got a big Ling counterattack. This could shut down the hatchery, but this could also shut down the hatchery at Sziky's main. And I think now that he realizes, hey, you don't have any Lings here, I've got to be getting counterattacked.
Yep, that's exactly what's going on here. XiaoShuai running into the main here with a big group of Zerglings. Oh man, this is going to be devastating.
Oh my
Spire
gosh.
just about to complete.
He can't let it complete. He's got to cancel it. Oh, he doesn't cancel it either, so that's going to be a huge loss.
Oh, man. Big damage being done here from XiaoShuai. Yeah, killing that Spire at this point is, I mean, it's going to be... Well, but, I mean, he didn't lose a ton of drones at the same time. And he eliminated that natural. I'm not really sure where we're at in the game state here.
Yeah, this is a wild game. Somehow he gets out 2 Scourge, so he can at least kill this Overlord if he wants. Oh, he actually got out some Mutas, so that's not bad. He does lose the Spire, though. He desperately needs to get a Spore at the bottom. Okay, actually, Lings are going to focus down that Spore. I'm not sure, did Scourge get connection? That is going to be a dead Spore, though, so that's going to be an open mineral line.
Gets a drone as well. Now there's no Lings, though, for XiaoShuai, so this is a big Ling counter possibility for Sziky, and I think that's actually what he needs. He needs to keep XiaoShuai from really being able to engage with these mutas as long as possible, buy some time for droning, getting more spores up, or he, could be in some trouble. There's no way he's mining this natural anytime soon, though.
Yeah, that's just not going to happen. So we did see XiaoShuai put back onto gas. It looks like drone count maybe in favor of Sziky right now, but the income pretty much the same. Another drone falls. Every drone really hurting. He desperately needs to get another Spore at that mineral line, because like I said, if you don't have static D, whether it's turrets, cannons, or spores in this scenario, I mean, mutas are just going to one-shot your workers all day long. This is such a punishing position.
Yeah, it really is. No Spore in that mineral line, no advantage, really, for Sziky, right? When you're going for this 12 pool expand, the expand part is the key part of the build. So without that, it's going to be in some trouble. +1 armor, Zero pointing out, already complete for XiaoShuai as well, as expected with such an early Spire. I feel like we're starting to get to a position where XiaoShuai is going to start running away with this.
It could very well be the case. We do have both players getting gas at their natural. Sziky, I guess, doesn't feel like he needs the minerals right now at his natural, so still not putting down that Spore colony, just focusing on gas, trying to make a comeback in the air. But he's down that upgrade, like you said, and I think that the nat gas is so late now that there's never going to be a world where Sziky can come back in the air. So if you're in this scenario, I feel like your actual only option is to go Hive.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. Hive, whether that's Devour, whether that's Plague, is honestly going to be a great option for him here. We're seeing a lot of Scourge being produced. He's just going to try to go for whatever kind of efficient trades he can get, it looks like. And, I mean, he does have a Ling advantage, right? There's no sunken at that natural, so maybe if he's able to distract enough here in the main, the Lings can get some significant kills at the natural.
That's exactly what he's going for. And remember, in the FengZi XiaoShuai series, like, players, I forget who it was exactly, but Scourge was connecting big time in that series. So no surprise to me that we see Sziky building a ton of Scourge here, because he may be able to get the connections that he's looking for. And these Lings and Muta combo have done a decent amount of damage. I don't think he necessarily killed drones, but he got the drones off of the gas, so he is slowly catching up.
Yeah, he killed one drone in the main with his Muta. Every little bit counts, especially given his position. I didn't think this was looking too great for him a minute ago, but hey man, I mean, he's still even supply. He's still got that natural going. There might be a comeback potential here for him.
Yeah, we've still got a supply lead for XiaoShuai, but it's much closer now. And I like how XiaoShuai has implemented this sunken. Like, dude, if you're just going to keep doing these counterattacks with the Lings, I might as well build this. It's not the biggest commitment. Sunkens also don't have the biggest DPS, but at least I'll be able to save this natural. And there it is. There is the Queen's Nest. You knew it had to be coming.
Yeah, good call here from Sziky. He's realized that is a lot of Muta. I'm not going to be getting any big trades anytime soon here.
Oof. We've got a standoff with the Muta Scourge, but unfortunately for XiaoShuai, even though he has air advantage, he's not able to scout exactly what Sziky's doing. Whereas Sziky, even though he's not getting kills, he gets into the main and sees, okay, there's no Hive, so I'm still Gucci right now. I've got my own Hive coming, and even if I'm down 1 armor, I think Devours are a little bit better than 1 armor. I could be wrong though.
Yeah, I think you're right in that assessment. Ooh, it's 1-1 though now for XiaoShuai. He's got that attack upgrade as well. Crazy. You know what I am seeing is Sziky is slowly but continuously building drones. Like, he definitely has a drone count advantage now. Look at that natural 3 spores. And the one thing I like about the spore style opener is Sziky will always have the option to counter. Like, if he could right now, if he saw XiaoShuai was outside his main or his natural, he could just hide his mutas all the way around, the map, and then just hopefully trade for every single drone in the base of XiaoShuai. So XiaoShuai, you may not think it, but despite his lead, he's got to be very careful here. Ooh, he scouted that hive tech with a Scourge as well. So XiaoShuai is in the know now.
Yeah, he knows that it is going to be Devourers or Defiler, but what can he do about it? Because like you said, there's mass spore here, man. It's not going to be easy to get through these 3 spores. However, this does put XiaoShuai on a clock. He's got to do something. We can't just be patrolling back and forth with Muta Scourge unless we're using that to get us a 3rd base and, get into higher gas income for him. But that's
he looks
not
like
the
he wants
case.
to dive. Wow.
He's got to, because what else can he do? This guy's about to have Devourers, man. If you get 3 Devourers, this game's done probably.
I mean,
here we go. I don't think there's enough scores, actually.
We'll see. Getting on top of the Muta. Ooh, good Scourge connects for Sziky, though. But there's still plenty of Scourge left for XiaoShuai. Getting some good connects. There's 3 spores, man. I don't think he's got this.
Yeah.
I think Sziky's going to come out ahead here.
Well, he's going to lose a lot of his mutas, but XiaoShuai also lost a lot of his mutas. I think during a battle like that, you've got to focus the spores down. Spores have a lot of health, but they dish out a ton of damage. They are like rapid fire, man. But just sitting on top of the 3 spores, that was a big mistake. And look at this! He's pulled off of gas! You need gas now, man, for sure, because Devourers are coming. You need as many mutas as possible.
I don't think Sziky needs to do anything either.
No, not...
Right? He can just... Yeah, I get you. Oh my gosh, is this a spore timing? Or sunken spore?
Do it!
This is going to be nuts.
Do it! Show it to me! True Touch, is that you?
Might be True Touch, man. Oh, this is going to be huge. 4 lings are out here for Sziky, though, trying to get a little bit of damage. Spore is doing some significant damage to the mutas of XiaoShuai. But yeah, man, this is not going to be good here for poor XiaoShuai.
Yeah, I think XiaoShuai's still dead here. Like, Sunken Colonies only spawn with 300 health, so you get it down to 100, and you just one-shot it as it comes online like that. And we've got the Devour out, so the Acid Spores have already hit, man. And you need to get the hell out of Dodge with those thing on you, and he did not, and that did not work, so that means that Sziky is going to take it. Look at how low those mutas are. See ya, 1-1, don't matter.
No way, man. What a frickin' comeback here. I can't believe this. Oh, there is a Ling Flood coming in from XiaoShuai, though, but still, I think he's held. Even a Guardian for good measure.
You've seen that unit in ZVZ Machine?
Not 2-base ZVZ. No, that's the first. Wow, GG is called there. And Sziky going to take game number 1. What a ridiculous game, man. That was so back and forth the entire time.
Yeah, that was crazy. And when you get Hive Tech, you obviously have options to Guardians, but I think that may be the first time I've ever seen a Guardian in ZVZ. But that just tells you what we're in store for with this best of 5, because already it's fireworks.
Yeah, man, absolute fireworks. I mean, Sziky doing a great job just kind of hanging in there, continuing that droning, and it felt like XiaoShuai just kind of, he didn't really try to bolster his economy. He definitely had some points where he clearly had map control. He had the, muta count advantage, but he kind of just kept making mutas and stayed with it. No 3rd base, no hive tech of his own. And Sziky just kind of sitting over spores and transitioning was really all he needed to do to clean that one up. So very well done there from Sziky. Yeah.
Yeah, those Ling counterattacks from Sziky really saved the game for him. He shut down the hatch at the natural. He forced drone pulls consistently. Because like you said, there looked like there was going to be a moment where XiaoShuai is going to start running away with it, but not the case. And Drone Man came back. And, if I was Sziky there, because of how... Maybe he wasn't super far down, but in ZVZ, if you're even down a little bit, that could be devastating. But for me, if I'm Sziky there and I realize I'm in a dire situation, I still manage to stabilize, I would probably go for a decently high eco opener, like 12 pool, something like that, where I can fall back on spores if I need them. No need to 9 pool and just have, decimated econ with nothing to fall back on. That's what I would go for. Yeah,
it's exactly, what we saw in that first game here. It is Vermeer too, so bigger map, more likely that, you know, your opponent's not going to scout you super early on, and vice versa. So I think you could be spot on with that analysis here. But with that, we see the map screen. Looks like both of our players are set and ready to go here, folks. So it's going to be XiaoShuai facing off against Sziky in game number 2. And spawning top right with the lead as the red Zerg, it is StarCast Sziky.
And in the bottom right, our Chinese Zerg, it is XiaoShuai. And you know what, Machine, now that I'm thinking about it, if he had done the sunken push initially, before that big fight at the Spores, like, you know, where he lost 1 billion mutas,
Yep.
maybe that could have won the game for him, right? Because he was up something like 12 mutas. The only reason he lost that fight is because there's 4 or 3 Spores just shooting him the entire duration.
Yeah, you know, I think you're right. I think there maybe was like a missed opportunity there. Because the Sunkens, you know, despite after he had lost all his mutas, were still a little bit of a threat. You know, that might have been the timing he needed, like you're saying. It's just so difficult to say because Spores are a building that trades so well with muta, right? Ooh, looks like this is going to be a 9 pool out of XiaoShuai.
Yep, so XiaoShuai going to be aggressive again here. This one even faster than the last. And we do have Sziky. No overpool just yet. I imagine that this is probably going to be... Oh, wait. Okay, yeah, it's Sziky with the...
Yep.
In the top right. I was like, wait a minute, is he 9 pooling? Did I misread this? But no, it is going to be Sziky again. But where's the pool, man?
Yeah, this better not be a hatch first. You know how much I can't stand hatch first?
Oh.
Man, I mean, when you do this, you're taking a big risk. And 9 pool is such a prominent build, ZVZ. I don't know. It's a big coin flip. I'm not a fan, but we'll have to see, you know, how he handles this.
Well, we know Sziky has insane control, but I don't think I've seen somebody hold this ever in BSL. So this is going to take a miracle for Sziky. Maybe somehow he can hide his Overlord on that ledge. Blue goes the wrong direction. I mean, that would be a catastrophe if blue goes diagonal, for example. But Sziky is going to come in here, and at least he's going to be able to see the Lings coming from a mile away. But yeah, he's going to have some special micro.
Yeah, I've seen Sziky do this before, right? You got to expect the first 6 things to go straight to your base once they scout the Overlord. He's going to need to pull just about every single drone he has and really just get some insane drone drilling and kill off the Lings like that. Obviously easier said than done. Oh,
Wow.
He's going to put a creep colony in the main. Okay. That's one way to do it.
Oh, he's going to try and buy time with this hatchery, but you just sack it? I think... Oh, he cancels it. Actually, this is one of the first times I've ever seen somebody cancel the hatch, and he is just going to try and hold his main. His lair is going to be basically even in timing, and also he does have that sunken colony to help. The drone does fall, but I don't think that's a big loss for him. With the sunken, he shouldn't lose much else.
Yeah, I mean, I still think XiaoShuai is ahead here. It is a big advantage for XiaoShuai, but this is a playable position. He can drone, he can, you know, probably go like no Ling speed, put down a second hatchery inside the main, and you know, try to play from there. But if you're looking at the supply counts here, XiaoShuai obviously was not forced to make that sunken, has Ling control, and is even on drone count, so it's pretty much just pure advantage for XiaoShuai at the moment.
Yeah, he opened with speed, but once he saw that he didn't need it anymore, he canceled it. So what was, you know, only a slight advantage in terms of gas is now a quite sizable advantage. It's something like almost 2 mutas, which you're never going to catch back on unless you're mining 3 on gas and your opponent's only mining on 2, which he is still doing right now. Okay, now he's put a 3rd one back on.
Yeah, looks like XiaoShuai realizes he's in a pretty good spot here. It's going to be a tough comeback from Sziky. He's going to need to, something like hope he gets a couple Scourge to connect on a Muta, and that could even the game state. But easier said than done, obviously.
Yeah, and I think it was XiaoShuai that was taking a lot of Scourge hits versus Fengzi, so I'm sure Sziky watched those games. I'm sure we will see heavy Scourge count from both sides, but definitely from Sziky like he did last game. We do have, what's that, 8 drones? That's a sizable drone lead for Sziky right now. It looked like something like at least 10 for him. Okay, it's not that much. It's just 1 more.
A little bit of a Ling skirmish going on here. Oh, Sziky making more Lings. Oh, I don't know. Let's just see how this one plays out here. It's like Sziky maybe with a slight Ling advantage by like 1 or something like that.
Yeah, but the angle is so punishing. It's just so hard to get down this ramp when you get funneled in like this. We do have mutas starting to come out for XiaoShuai. There's the mutas for Sziky. Both players... Oh, actually, XiaoShuai is not supply blocked, whereas Sziky is. So that could be a difference maker if he doesn't get unsupply blocked pretty soon. Okay, he does now.
Yeah, both players very wisely pulling their overlords back as well, trying to prevent any unnecessary supply blocks. But it looks like XiaoShuai's mutas are out, and he is gunning straight for Ziky's base. Oh, it looks like he's actually just scouting for overlords. He's going to find this one in the center of the map.
Oh my gosh, he missed it. Did you see this complete spread from XiaoShuai also? Like, literally, look at the blue movement all over trying to find this overlord, and he's spending so much time trying to find. Now, we actually may have an engagement here, even though it's 5 versus 4. There are 2 Scourge in the army right now for Sziky. Actually, it's 6 versus 4. I think you need to turn around at this point. Okay, he does get off a pot shot. And remember, XiaoShuai doesn't have Sunken in his main, so these Lings could do damage. Actually, a lot of damage.
Ooh, I think he got a couple connects with the Scourge there.
I think he did too. Those Lings surprisingly didn't run in. So I would say probably he got 1 Muta there, maybe? Because I think it was 7. Now we have 5 versus 7. But Sziky now has lost all of his Lings.
Does have 2 more mutas. I mean, losing the Lings here isn't the biggest deal, right? He's not going for an expansion. His opponent's not going for an expansion. If anything, you're kind of freeing up supply for more muta.
Yeah.
I don't think, you know, XiaoShuai, yeah, he'll have some Lings now to potentially like harass the natural before it builds, but he's still got to watch out, man. If XiaoShuai moves across the map here and, you know, gets caught by Ziky's mutas, he could just out and out lose.
I think Sziky may have already done it, man. And the reason I say that is thinking back to last game, once Sziky got mutas out on the map, how many times did you see XiaoShuai move across the map with his own mutas? I didn't see it at all. And that means that his hatch is going to get up faster than XiaoShuai. The drone count, I think, is already more than XiaoShuai's. Right now, the only thing going for XiaoShuai is he's got more mutas. That's the fact, I think. But look at him, he's just patrolling back and forth. He's the passive one. And meanwhile, we know Ziggy's just powering like crazy.
Yeah, you're right. I think he definitely has a drone count advantage here. You know, those Zerglings, once again, not doing anything for XiaoShuai given the position so far. Oh, it looks like Sziky even making some Lings of his own. I don't know, it's pretty even. Hatcheries at the natural are at a pretty even game state. But yeah, at least we know Sziky is not afraid to drone a little bit, ZVZ.
Yeah, supplies, even though they are even, like you said, I still think this is just a better position for Sziky, simply because he seems to be more confident in his play moving around. Like, look at this, we still haven't even attempted to go towards the center of the map at all. We're just holding our ramp. I mean, admittedly, that's what also Sziky is doing, but at least he's droning with this, and his third hatch is already up.
Yep. He's getting that natural gas just slightly quicker. Already got 3 drones on it, so I mean, he's just making the most of these opportunities here.
Well, I would like to know if either player has gotten armor upgrade. I think they haven't, because the gas is so even and the muta count is so even. However, a Ling finally gets into Ziky's natural and does confirm that the Nat is up and running. Neither player has opted to put down an evolution chamber just yet for even 1 spore. Like, 1 spore can make a big difference, obviously, in a single fight, but Both players really heavily focusing on just getting the gas right now. That's a ton of Scourge Machine.
That is a ton of Scourge. I mean, you were mentioning prior with the Fang Z match that XiaoShuai allowed a lot of Scourge connections here. If he does the same, I mean, this is a killer amount of Scourge here for Sziky.
Yeah, well, he does need to be careful to not overbuild Scourge, because Scourge are great, but if you are one of those that like, oh, I've got so many, I'm just gonna, not necessarily move command, but A move, and you A move, 8 Scourge onto 1 Muta, well, that's 100% not worth. And this Ling, I just barely saw it. This is so much stuff! So many Lings, so many Scourge.
Wow, so many Scourge. Oh my gosh! Did you see those connects? That was unreal how good those connects were. Ling's on the mineral line. Sziky doesn't even need to continue with the mutas here. He's already done the damage.
Yeah, he did a lot of damage, but the muta count is lacking for Sziky right now. Like, there was a ton of Scourge for XiaoShuai, but there's a ton of mutas actually for XiaoShuai.
Another muta goes down.
No.
Look at that.
Yeah.
3 of the mutas are at 10 HP.
Okay, actually, there's more mutas for Sziky than I thought. So he's got air advantage, he's got eco advantage, he's got probably even amounts of Lings.
If he comes in here and connects with any more Scourge, I think he just runs XiaoShuai over.
Yeah, I think he will run over XiaoShuai if this game keeps going and he continues to build Scourge just like that. And we are going to have another big engagement. I think, like I said, muta count, if it's not even, somebody has like maybe just one more, but there's obviously a massive Scourge advantage for Sziky right now, and there goes the only Scourge. So now XiaoShuai has to run, man, otherwise these are all going to connect, and it's 8, what's that, 10? That's at least, oh, actually it's still even, 10 to 10.
10 to 10. I think 1 or 2 more mutas did just rally in for Sziky, though. Yeah, it looks like he's got 12 now. So this might even be muta advantage.
Damn, clutch holds from XiaoShuai, actually, and was that a drone that actually died at the natural? It looked like the drone health or drone animation.
It was. It looked. I think 1 Zergling ran into the natural for XiaoShuai and killed a drone. So big pickup there from XiaoShuai as well. But it looks like Sziky gonna go again.
In Ziky's main, does he only have 2 on gas? Thought it looked... Okay, he does have 3. I imagined he had 3, but I thought he was missing 1. Neither player has any upgrades, though, and we've got still 55 supply versus basically 55 supply, but an additional muta pops out in the nick of time for XiaoShuai. Again, just so many Scourge, and that could have been the game-changing move right there, Machine. The move back from XiaoShuai where he wasn't firing, that could have been all that Sziky needed to win this game. I think he realizes now that he's got muta advantage.
Yeah, he's just jumping all over these. 2 more Scourge connects. More Scourge even flocking in.
Oh, he doesn't.
Oh my gosh, it was so close.
His supply has really shot down, whereas XiaoShuai is still holding around 40 supply, but there's a ton of Lings coming in. I love how neither player still has speed.
Yeah, neither player has speed, neither player has upgrades. I mean, this has just been a slugfest back and forth here. Well, looks like
Sziky's run out of steam. There's just way too many mutas to overcome now. The mass muta style is going to overcome the mass Scourge style from Sziky, and this is a huge lead now, 41 to 28.
Yeah, this is massive. I think XiaoShuai's ahead in every way. Look at that drone count in the main for XiaoShuai, just not even risking sending those drones to the natural quite yet. So as soon as things kind of stabilize here, XiaoShuai going to be in a pretty commanding position.
Dang, I didn't realize that the drone count was such a massive difference. That's like 5 workers, 6 workers in favor of XiaoShuai, and that's how he's able to afford so many mutas. I've been watching, man. I'm like, man, he's got a lot of mutas. Like, this guy just doesn't build Scourge at all. Whereas I'm consistently seeing Sziky outright broke, despite building, only those very cheap mineral Scourge units. So that's how he was getting all that money.
Yeah, this is not great. If you're Sziky, right, you have no map control now. You can't really pressure. And if you drone, you're very likely going to die. So I don't know. He's just in a tough spot. I almost think you just need to take the risk, right? Just build drones. Hope XiaoShuai is playing passive like he has been. But as I say that, looks like XiaoShuai is coming across the map.
Yep, XiaoShuai realized that, hey, I just got too much stuff now. So finally he's going to make his move. and he is going to probably take this game unless there's just insane Scourge connections. That was decent, but not even half of the Scourge connected, and there's just way too many mutas at this point. It's at least 11 for XiaoShuai versus just 8. The Lings aren't going to get any kills. Well, now they are, and this is going to be a tied score.
Yeah, this should be 1-1 here, folks. Sziky fighting, as well as he can here, but there's just too many mutas left for XiaoShuai.
Okay, what's going on, Machine? We keep calling it. This guy's winning. This guy's winning. I'm pretty sure I just watched Sziky win this fight with not even muta counts. How did that happen?
I don't know. Sometimes there's just these miracles that you can't even explain, honestly. That was one of them. I mean, he had a good 5-6 muta advantage on Sziky there, and Sziky still manages to hold. Now, he did lose quite a few drones for, his efforts there, unfortunately. So that's still going to be setting Sziky's eco back further and further. But he did manage to hold, man. He's fighting on.
We're going to have another attack from XiaoShuai. Despite a lot of his mutas being heavily injured, it is now 11 mutas versus just 6. I can't imagine a world where XiaoShuai could lose this fight, but he did just lose the fight a moment ago.
Yeah, it could happen. Picks off 2 Scourge there. And yeah, here we go. Sziky trying to get some damage onto those Lings before they get inside the main. Good Scourge flock from Sziky, and actually good control of his own picking off the Scourge of XiaoShuai, but it's just not enough. Ling's cleaning up some drone kills here. And looks like XiaoShuai going to back off, because he's able to just trade these Lings for drones, It's efficient every time he's coming in.
Yeah, every time he's killing those drones, that's wasted money for Sziky, and also, of course, he's not mining his natural at all, whereas obviously XiaoShuai already has a massive worker advantage, and now we finally see a good move into the main from XiaoShuai. Picks off an Overlord. He doesn't really need to kill much stuff. Like, anything's going to be punishing. Drone here, Overlord here, even killing like a straggler Ling is a big deal.
Yeah, exactly. At this point, he'll take any kind of trades he could get. I mean, smart given the first game, right? He had a pretty sizable lead the first game. No sense in throwing it away for any risks. Let's just play it slow and steady. And here we go again. XiaoShuai moving into the natural. Quite a few muta and Scourge. Lings as well. He realizes he's just got too much now.
Yep, not even microing. That's going to be it. So well done from XiaoShuai. I thought Sziky was in a better position than he was, but once Zero showed us the drone count in the main of XiaoShuai, which I guess we never really recognized, that's how he was able to afford so many mutas. Like, it was just Muta Man, not Scourge Man. He don't care about those things. Just get me more mutas.
Exactly. I think it was, one thing I wanted to mention was, like, XiaoShuai didn't go for that armor upgrade, right? I think had he gone for something like a risky armor upgrade, Sziky might have been able to just catch him with that Muta Scourge timing. So it was so close, one way or the other. Also, that was a 9 pool versus 12 hatch opener, right? So Sziky did the best given the situation, but I think XiaoShuai kind of had map control there from the start. So well done to him. He's going to tie up the series here, but yeah, it should be Sziky here trying to rally on Circuit Breakers next, so that should be pretty exciting.
Yeah, so we're going to have another big map. I don't know if I'm Sziky here. Am I willing to risk another 12 hatch versus a guy that gassed into pool? Now he 9 pooled. I think XiaoShuai, has he even 12 hatched at all in any of the ZVZs we've seen?
I'm trying to remember. If he did, it was so long ago. I feel like I remember him 12 hatching once on Butter or something like that, but that was a long time ago. So I don't think he really feels like he needs to take the risk, right? But who knows? His opponent's already shown 2 different builds, and neither of them were 9 pool. So who knows? Maybe something like a 12 hatch from XiaoShuai could be an easy way to grab a big advantage here in game number 3, but it is going to be Circuit Breakers, folks. It looks like both of our players are set to go. So yeah, let's jump into XiaoShuai Sziky game 3. And spawning bottom left as the blue Zerg, it is StarCast Sziky.
Yep, and in the top left, it is XiaoShuai. We're going to have interception at the mid left machine.
Yeah, I mean, vertical positions, circuit breakers, it's like, it's very close natural to natural, which means a lot of bad things. ZBZ as far as Muta, once Muta are on the map, right? It's going to be very difficult to defend that mineral line, that gas. I don't think 12 pool Expo would be bad here. I don't think 9 pool, hatch first is bad here. It looks like it will be a 9 pool this game from Sziky, so switching it up once again. So yeah, I don't know. We'll have to see how this one goes.
Well, we're getting to a critical moment. I want to ask this before we get to that moment where we're going to have the Overlords intercept in the map. They didn't intercept just yet, but let's imagine that, oh, I just now see your Overlord. You could see that we were about to have potential Overlord popping. Let's say you wanted to go for a 12 hatch. When you see Overlords intercept like this, does this automatically make you change your plan? Are you thinking like, oh my god, he already knows where I am? Do I no longer 12 hatch? Do I transition that into a 12 pool?
No, not at all.
You still go for it?
I think I would still, if I was already planning it, yeah, it doesn't matter. They already have the 9 pull down or whatever by that point, so I don't personally. I would just kind of continue to commit to it, but I could see how some players might.
All right, well, we've got overpool versus 9 pool. So I really like XiaoShuai's build here. He's going to have 1 additional drone or 2 additional drones. And that's just going to be massive for him. Both players likely going to find each other first, obviously. So they're both going to see, okay, this guy still has no nat hatch. So it was definitely a 1 base. And we've got lair from both sides.
I don't like this build, actually, from XiaoShuai.
What?
Overpool, yeah, dude. Overpool this is the only build Overpool beats.
Well, that's what I mean. In this scenario, I like it.
Yeah, I like it in this scenario, but man, it's really weird watching these high-level Zergs mix in Overpool, to be honest with you. But, I mean, as you mentioned, it's going to end up paying off for him here. But had Sziky done anything else, this would look a little silly.
All he does is flip coins, machine. He's just flipping the coins and he's hitting heads every single time.
Yeah, hitting heads every time. I mean, Sziky, the one advantage he has is he's very forward on the map with these lings. I'd like to see him hold position those at the bottom of XiaoShuai's ramp, force him to maybe trade a little inefficiently, but it looks like he's going to back off, not having speed of his own, which I'm sure there's a reason for that. It's likely going to be a good call here, but either way, Sziky's got to be going, dang, man, Overpool? He's got a drone advantage this whole time? I mean, Spires are basically completely even between these two. Ling count's completely even. Actually, I lied. Looks like 10, 12 lings here for XiaoShuai. And Sziky going to be giving up map control. Ooh, ling speed finishing here.
He branched off 2 lings. You are going to need these 2 lings, I think. Yes, ramp advantage is huge, but this is 7 in a semicircle versus 12? Maybe not.
Yeah, it can be a little tricky to engage up those ramps as we've seen. So looks like XiaoShuai just happy to kind of sit back on the map here. He's going to catch these 2 lings of Sziky moving out on the map, looks like. And Sziky somehow knows about it. Yeah, has the Overlord scouting it, so not going to try to move in quite yet with these 2 lings.
Yep, Spire timing. Spire timing's basically the same, right? We've got 1 supply lead for XiaoShuai. I think it's just in an additional ling, actually. Somehow the lings find each other in the center of the map.
There's a lot of lings being produced here from XiaoShuai. I'm a little shocked.
Yeah, maybe he's trying. He
hilarious.
Gets in, and that could be a dead drone. At minimum, it's a drone pull, and that's going to disrupt mineral income and gas income. And here we go. We're going to breach the main while Sziky's not paying attention, and also he's in the middle of building mutas.
He did have a good arc, but it just looks like so many Zerglings from XiaoShuai. Actually,
What?
I lie? What? He's gonna hold? How did he hold?
I don't know. I also thought that he was not going to hold there. And now we're in a predicament because I think XiaoShuai was spending all of his larvae on Lings. No, not the
Yeah,
case. He built 2 mutas, but there's 3 for Sziky right now.
but back at home, I mean, drone count is not that great here. It looks like for XiaoShuai. Also, looks like one of his overlords going to end up falling. Oh, drone count's dead even.
Yeah,
Here
but
we
getting that
go.
Overlord, that's an expensive unit to lose. Also, now there's a moment in time where you're just going to be able to build mutas and the opponent can't. Now, there are 2 Overlords in the center of the map. That's a big mistake. He can't lose both of these. And that's
Yeah,
going to
he
allow,
definitely can't lose both of these.
look at XiaoShuai with these Ling counterattack.
Yeah, 3 Lings versus 3 Lings. Looks like Sziky might be able to clean that up with
Oh.
a couple drones.
There's more
no.
mutas for XiaoShuai. How'd that happen?
I don't know, man. Oh no! Suddenly, the pendulum's swinging the other way. It looks like Sziky in a pretty rough spot now.
23 out of 9. I haven't seen that in a while.
Yeah,
But
especially.
there's more muta Scourge for Sziky right now. If they engage and XiaoShuai thinks it's only mutas, he's gonna lose this fight.
It's like he is gonna back off. He scouts that natural hatchery though. That is Ziky's biggest advantage at the moment.
Here we go. We're gonna have Nat coming down. Gonna finally see Sziky. Okay, he's still supply blocked actually. I thought that was gonna bring him out of the supply block, but still not the case.
And it looks like XiaoShuai not even going to take a natural. He's going to back and forth with that a few times here. I was going to say, it might be one of those cases where every drone counts, right? There's no way Ziky's mining this natural anytime soon. So maybe XiaoShuai just wants the drone.
Yeah, you really gotta balance your drone in this scenario, and he's decided that, well, I guess the supply block's over, so my window's come and gone, no need to risk my Mutalisk, and he's right, the supply block has been resolved. He still is up 1 muta, but Sziky should be pumping out those mutas pretty soon. We've got a drone finally going to be transferred to the natural.
Yeah, drone making its way to the natural here, and I mean, that's the big advantage, right? It looks like he's already immediately going for that Vespian Geyser at the natural here, trying to boost that Vespian Gas income, build some more muta, build some more Scourge. And we are seeing even supply here between these two as well.
Yep, 10 mutas. What's it for Sziky? I think 8, maybe 9. Oh, it's actually 10 also, plus the Scourge, so still
Mars
air
BW
lead for
is
him.
sub-a-ghosting
Supplies
for
are
14
pretty
months.
much dead even,
Hey,
but I like
Zero.
the fact that he's had his natural larva available for much longer. We do have another supply block. I guess he did a gas trick cancel or something like that. And we do have Scourge coming in, and the connections for both sides, but is there more mutas for XiaoShuai?
It's
Actually,
going to be
it
very
is.
close.
It's
Yeah.
8 versus 8, but he pushed the mutas out of the battle, and also Ziky's mutas are more heavily damaged. More Scourge coming in here. Good shots from XiaoShuai so far.
Yeah, he's just getting all over these Scourge. Scourge not quite able to get the connections they need to from Sziky. And... oh, it's so close.
Oh my gosh, it's 5 versus 4. The control was so sick from both sides, but barely. Ziky's gonna have too many. He eliminates all of them, and he has 3 left over.
Oh man, this might be time to capitalize here. He's got the drone count advantage, he's got natural. At the same time, I don't think he even needs to, right? He's already on the 2 gas. He should maybe consider just sitting back and stabilizing. I don't know, man. This is a wild one.
Yeah, I actually thought XiaoShuai was going to win the fight because he got the first hits off. Now, this is one of the hardest things to do in all of BroodWar. You've got 2 mutas versus Scourge. You don't one-shot them when you turn around. But, you know, surprisingly, even though Sziky knows where the Scourge are, or where the mutas are, not going for a counterattack. And that was smart because actually Lings were out on the map.
Yeah, really good call here from Sziky. Going to end up getting the drone pull that he needs to try to keep these alive here. Wow, good control. Great control here from Sziky.
Absolutely no damage. And one of those Scourge did connect. Luckily, XiaoShuai has... oh, he got rid of that other one, so 1 muta doesn't die, but... well, Sziky, I don't know about this attack. This is only 2 mutas?
Yeah, Yeah, I think he's got more behind. He's just realized it's time to go.
It's time, baby. I want this Zerg out of my game. And I think he is about to take it. He's so close to just eating up this mineral line. Goodbye, drones. And we're going to see 2-1 for Sziky unless there's some type of miracle counterattack.
Yeah, he's all on top of this mineral line now. That's just too many mutas to handle for XiaoShuai. Sziky still pumping gas at the natural. Looks like a Ling Muta counterattack of his own. Going to be going inside the main here, and there's no sunken Nyoken. This could get a little weird. I mean, he still should have the Muta count advantage, right? I would assume he's building Muta Scourge out of the main. But yeah, XiaoShuai just doing what he can to make things difficult here.
Yep. He's got it in the bag. There it is. GG.
Wow.
And that means our European Zerg, he is 1 game away from moving into the next round.
Yeah, man. Just one more game is all he's gonna need here. And that was, once again, just a build order advantage for XiaoShuai early on with that funky overpool opener that, you know, I told you how much I love that ZVZ.
Yeah. You're a big fan here. You're the biggest fan of Overpool Machine.
Yep. But man, he's still just getting things done. Got some great Scourge connections. Despite losing the 2 Overlords in the center of the map there. That was a big supply block timing for XiaoShuai, but wasn't quite enough to hang on to the game there. So well done from Sziky.
Yeah, I need to watch that replay, or I'm going to watch the VOD later, because the first few shots for the Mutas went in favor of XiaoShuai. He also connected his Scourge first. I'm sitting there watching, I'm like, dude, XiaoShuai's got it, and then Sziky's left over with 3 Mutas. I don't know how that happened. Maybe it was reinforcement advantage, because it really did look like XiaoShuai was going to win there, but regardless, both players, clearly the skill level is insanely close, because both of these games have been so close that we couldn't call it. I'm looking at chat couldn't call it either. Some people are like, yeah, well, the supplies were in favor of XiaoShuai the whole time. Yeah, but there were moments where Sziky also won fights on the Vermeer game.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it seems like in general Sziky kind of favoring the earlier fast expansion kind of style of ZVZ, whereas XiaoShuai very comfortable off just these single base, 1 hatch kind of openers. So I'm starting to feel like these guys are getting a rhythm and like an understanding for how each player is going to end up playing going into this one. Yeah. Okay. We're actually gonna jump to a quick break here for folks before we get into the next game. So stay tuned. Don't go too far. We'll be back in just a few minutes here.
BSL Surprise Tournament, BSL Legends Show matches, so many great events going on. It's still after a year, it's impossible for me to pay my bills, to pay my mortgage, because I need around $2,500 a month to be able to do it, to live the way, on the level I was living before I started doing the full-time, organizing full-time tournaments. So this is, guys, I'm calling you for action. Just please sign up for the Patreon for $5 or $2 or $3, because the funny part is that I already have the prize pool for the incoming tournaments confirmed for the BSL next tournaments for the April, May, June and July. I'm already planning the events, but I will not be able to do it because I will have to spend this time working and trying to earn for the food for my family. So guys, if you were considering like, oh, maybe I will sign up at one day, this is the day, because we have the deadline until the end of BSL16. If we will not do it, I don't know what I will do. Maybe I will do 1 season a year, maybe I will do 2 seasons a year if we find some sponsors, but it will be very hard to do any additional events, which I'm actually right now planning, and you guys will be shocked what I will have prepared for you for the middle of this year. So, guys, I will give you 1 second of silence to think about it and think whether it's worth it to support BSL and support StarCraft in these majestic times. Look at that. Look at this hand. This hand, this is no shaky hand. I know how to do it. I know how to make BroodWar great. But just trust me, guys. Just trust me. Look at this hand. Look at it. Okay, thank you, guys.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back. BSL16 round of 6, match 2, and we actually have Sziky with a comeback lead here against XiaoShuai, up 2-1. But yeah, we are going into game number 4 now, which is going to end up being Power Bond. Good 3-player map for ZVZ, man. So I don't know about you, Nyoken, but I'm excited to see how this one's going to turn out.
Yeah, especially that the games have been so close. And you know, one thing that I was looking to see was, is the Muta control there now versus the Scourge for XiaoShuai in particular? Because like I said, in this FangZ series, like Scourge were connecting left and right, man. Like they were just a missile. They couldn't miss. Meanwhile, this series looks different. You can see XiaoShuai stuttering back with the Muta control. I actually don't think the winning move here, even though it has gotten a victory on Circuit Breaker, is the Mouse Scourge style, because it backfired in Vermeer. I think Sziky needs to focus a little bit more on Mutalist, but hey, he's up 2-1. I'm not up 2-1. So why change the winning strat right now?
Yeah, man, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I think you're right. It's been close too, right? XiaoShuai has absolutely also had some pretty meticulous Muta control versus Scourge earlier in the series too. So it's not like that's necessarily what's going to break it, or make it or break it here for him. But looks like with this, both of our players are ready to go, folks. It's going to be Sziky versus XiaoShuai, game 4 on Power Bond. And spawning top right as the blue Zerg, it is StarCast Sziky.
Yep, and in the bottom middle with the unfortunate scout path, it is XiaoShuai. Now, how big of an advantage is this machine? You get first scout, 3-player map, you can see Lings coming out, whereas opponent has no clue what you're going for.
I mean, it is a massive, massive advantage, especially at the level of these two here. For instance, you know, if both players open 9 pool and Sziky gets that first scout off, can see the Zerglings moving out from XiaoShuai, knows that it's a 9 pool, he can kind of just move around the center of the map and look to, you know, basically get a run by into the main, whereas someone like XiaoShuai can't know what exactly is going on here and would have to, you know, basically be playing in the dark, engaging, not knowing whether he's, you know, trying to attack a 12 pool natural or, you know, whether there could be Zerglings running around the side of the map and engaging into the main. So it just makes things a lot easier for whoever has the quicker vision. And once again, we're going to see that Overgas opener here from XiaoShuai. I really like Overgas, especially given these two build orders. Once again, this is going to be a 9 pool out of Sziky. So, you know, right off the bat, obviously, XiaoShuai not going to have more Zerglings early on, not going to have the faster Zerglings early on, but he forgoes that for more gas, better eco, faster layer, you know, and basically due to the travel time, Sziky can't really hope to get a whole lot of damage done here with his first 6 Zerglings. He will have map control, yes, but there's so many other advantages here for XiaoShuai, given just how these two build orders match up.
You can see that Sziky's going to have his lair coming, but he's already pulled 1 off of gas, whereas XiaoShuai's still continuing to mine gas, so he's going to have pretty big gas lead, and Sziky's going to come in here and see, okay, well, you went for similar builds, but I don't think you can actually tell whether this is a 9 pool or the overcast like you're talking about. Luckily for... He can? Okay, what are you looking for? How do you tell?
He sees no lings right now.
Okay, that's true.
Yeah, there's just no Zerglings out from XiaoShuai. He'll see that timing, yet see the lair, so he knows exactly what he's up against now.
Right, well, we've got the lings in position, so Sziky not going to be able to get any damage done unless somehow these lings can sneak by. We do have almost a 200 gas advantage, so that's just absolutely huge. And XiaoShuai also has big econ. He's going to put down a macro hatch.
Yeah, I mean, that's really the big advantage of this build. It's why I love Overgas so much in this matchup. It's just quite a strong build, quite a well-rounded opener, you know, against just about everything. The one thing Sziky could do here is maybe look to take an expansion, because he at least has that map control, has those Zerglings held position at the bottom of the ramp. Clearly did not have to go for Zergling speed early on, and still is able to basically defend at that ramp. So yeah, we're actually going to see Sziky take an expansion here. This is one way you can play yourself back in to this build order.
Well, we'll see if XiaoShuai can get anything done, because I think he actually got speed. Because I'm looking at how the gas gap has closed, and he's going to also have the macro hatch, so he's going to have a slight advantage in terms of larva. And we may have some type of timing from him, but how does he get down the ramp? That's the one thing that I'm curious about.
I mean, when you figure it out, tell me, because I really don't know. It's you gotta just I guess be diligent. You know, select off some individual Zerglings, try to work down the health of one ling, create a hole, and, you know, move through it. But Sziky is so diligent, right? Like, he's not gonna just let you kill the free Zergling. He's gonna replace it. He's gonna move things. I mean, look at that. Spire's already finished. Oh, he's gonna back up completely here, though. I'm surprised that oh, there's no speed, it looks like, for XiaoShuai.
How did he catch up then? How is the gas so even?
I have no clue. I don't... Oh, okay. XiaoShuai was mining with 2 on gas, Zero says, for a bit, so guess that'll do it.
What's this? This is 2 Scourge instantly. Can you get Scourge across the map fast enough to snipe mutas as they pop?
Nope. You can't.
I don't think you can. We'll see. Okay. Prove
me wrong.
Look at his timing. It's so sick. Free kill. Tree Oh! I mean, even just getting one connection there is big. You got Sziky.
Oh,
I can't believe it.
All right, I'm gonna have to try that one. I can't believe it, man. That is huge for Sziky, and to have the wherewithal to recognize that as well. I mean, this has just got to be advantage Sziky now. He's got his second gas already up and running. As you stated, the gas count was pretty even despite it being a 9-pool versus overgas opener to start with. And now XiaoShuai's on a timer. I don't even know if he knows he's on a timer, right? There's been no vision of this natural. He might be thinking Ziky's still on one base for all he knows.
ZVZ's so dangerous that you always feel scared to move out of position because, hey, if you have vision like this, which is, lack of vision, for all you know, you're out of position for a second, your natural or your main just gets instantly killed. So I can see why you're hesitating to make any moves, but yeah, he needs to do something, dude. This is double gas Zerg.
Looks like he's going to do something here, though. Sziky going to scout it with a single Ling and sees the timing coming. This should really start triggering him to start grouping in the main. Actually pulling drones from the Nat gas here.
Yeah, he doesn't want to have to deal with micring Lings and mutas. I love it, man. Like, what you can, I don't know if you can sack this hatch, but he's mined a decent amount of gas there, and it also forces, one angle to focus on. And he just kills basically half of the Lings before they even get on top of the Lings. This is a huge lead for Sziky now.
Yeah, now he's got the Zergling threat still available, right? He can use these Lings to scout out XiaoShuai's potential natural, pressure the main, right? There's no sunken inside the main here for XiaoShuai. So just by having these extra Zerglings left over, he's going to get tons of scouting information and still be a big threat here to XiaoShuai.
Oh my gosh.
A lot of muta, though.
Yeah, it's a lot of muta, but he barely missed the Lings. He may have thought that those 4 Lings that were moving across are all of the Lings. That is a lot of mutas for XiaoShuai. It's 10 mutas. Just like in the Vermeer game, really heavily prioritizing the mutas as opposed to the Scourge.
Ooh.
But Ziky's out of position, and XiaoShuai's already here.
Yeah, he's on the natural, diving into that mineral line. Looks like that's going to prompt a retreat here from Sziky, trying to get on top of this muta Scourge force. Oh, here come the Scourge, though. This is going to be the deciding factor. Plenty of Scourge falling, though, from Sziky.
Yeah, really good control from XiaoShuai, but how many mutas are left over? It's 7 versus maybe 8? Oh my god, that's an overwhelming amount of mutas, and there it is! Sziky, he's going to take the series 3-1.
Yeah, 3-1, pretty convincingly there. I mean, every game, it felt like XiaoShuai had, a great build order to begin with, and Sziky just manages to find a way to pull himself back into the series, man. That was very, very well done there from Sziky.
Yeah, and I think if XiaoShuai just had a little bit more luck on his side, like if he's the one to get the first scout off on this map in particular, this could have definitely been a 3-1 for him because clearly the games were very close. The only one that was kind of lopsided was Silford. Other than that, they were pretty close games, like very nail biting, and unfortunately he's going to be eliminated, and that's a big loss because, like I pointed out yesterday in the bracket, like XiaoShuai, he beat Dewalt, he beat Qiao, he beat Sziky. He beat Bonyth. The only person he didn't beat was Mihu in the bracket. It looked like this could be his season.
Yeah, it absolutely is. Unfortunately for him, man, Sziky is a terror of ZVZ. XiaoShuai did actually beat Sziky, as I mentioned earlier, the first time they faced off, but yeah, that's still going to be the end of his BSL run here for BSL16. As a player that's been in the BSL seasons for a couple seasons now, XiaoShuai is definitely a formidable Zerg. Absolutely going to be looking forward to seeing more of his play in next BSL season. But for now, it's going to be Sziky moving on to the round 3.
Yeah, and that's going to set us up for, I know for a fact a fan favorite matchup. What's this? Dewalt versus Sziky. We've seen very close games between these two. This is hard to call because anybody that watches BSL knows I'm probably the biggest Dewalt fan. I call him for victory every single season. But Ziky's macro, so nuts. The way he's able to manage his econ and then also build Hydras and then also the Muta control, the Muta transition to pick off Templars. This should be a very exciting series. I say we're going to go 3-2 for either side.
Yeah, I think that's a great call. I know, both these players obviously have faced off countless times in tournaments. It's really, a kind of amazing to say that there's a Zerg who can face off against Dewalt in, the foreign scene and come out on top, right? Like there's not many of those. But Sziky is absolutely the one, man. He is a big problem for every Protoss out there. And yeah, I'm super excited to see how that one's going to turn out.
Yep, that is going to be definitely very exciting. As you can see, it's going to be next week. We've got one series per day from here on out. So Saturday versus Dewalt. Winner is going to be facing Mihu, and then Sziky already took down Mihu, so there's a real shot he could make it. Of course, if Dewalt makes it through Sziky, he's going to have to go through two of his nemesis, because Mihu got him, I think, in back-to-back seasons. And if Bonyth has gotten him in what seems like every season.
Yeah, sure has, man. He can't catch a break there against Bonyth. Always close games, right? Always close series. Even the Mihu series was pretty good. But yeah, big bad Bonyth, man. There's a reason why he's already in the grand finals here. He is a problem.
That is so true.
Yep. But still, nothing but the best of the best left here. Two solid Protosses. We got Mihu holding it up for the Terran, and Sziky still in it for us Zergs. So, yeah, man, you couldn't ask for a better quarterfinals from here on out.
Yep, this is as good as it gets. So that's it today, guys. Of course, we got to thank our supporters. I saw some big donations come in earlier. Don't think I missed them. Thank you for donating directly to the BSL. Of course, our main sponsor, Optimuck, we got a shout out to them, and you can see the information on it. Founded by Hungarian StarCraft player named Chameleon. He played in one of the first WCGs, so thank you supporting BroodWar almost 25 years later. And then, of course, we've got our Patreon supporters, the one and only Star Lover at the $100 level. Then your boy also at the $100 level. We've got Striker at 50, Believe in Zero, My Fleeting Dream, Veer Rev, Hash Fuzzy, $30 level, Tem, Cuz, Apocalypse, Robert Group, Niantic, $20 level, Surikata, On My Way, Gordon Bradley, KJ Daniel Lopez, LML, Machine Quark, Steven Robertson, Mr. Cat, Andre Niculescu, Duvaz, Medino, and of course, we've got a ton of other supporters, and I even see a new level here, $15 level. Thank you for supporting the BSL. Remember, $10 or more in Patreon support gets you all the replays of the BSL.
Yeah, definitely suggest giving that $10 a month support. It's worth it just to get these high-level replays, especially if you're someone looking to improve your play, or you just want to watch some of the best games, that we could possibly have here at the BSL. Definitely suggest tuning in and doing that. But yeah, thank you all for your support. I guess that's going to be it for Nyoken and myself here today. But definitely stay tuned next weekend as we see Sziky face off against Dewalt. And then the following day will be the winner of that series going up against Mihu, man. So just want to say thank you all for tuning in. Thanks for watching. Thank you once again to Zero for making this all happen. And Dan, thanks for commentating with me today.
Yep, it was fun. You guys enjoy your weekend, and we'll be back next weekend with very exciting games, I'm sure.
See ya.